Action Comics 995, Dan Jurgens writing,
Ugh.
and Brett Booth on art, which I did not know when I opened the comic on the tablet. I seen
So,
the name and
so
I went, oh boy.
Oh no, I didn't
generally,
even notice the
Pete.
name. I just kind of got to the first page. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, generally Pete reads these before I can even get mine, because of work, and he goes, "Oh, hey, you get something to look forward to in action." I was like, "Yeah, I know, Booster." He's like, "No, Brett Booth," and I might have thrown my phone.
Yeah, yeah. So the beauty of digital is I can get them at the crack of dawn, but the
Yeah.
yeah. So I was reading this and I'm like, oh man, this art's. It's just funny because I was getting a couple pages into it. I'm like, man, this is like, it's amazing how much his art just makes the book overall feel weaker.
Here's the thing with Brett Booth. I found like his Nightwing run with Higgins was fine. I feel he pairs with certain writers.
He had a
Okay.
sense of motion in Nightwing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I feel like the acrobatics suited it,
yeah.
his style.
Well, even in Flash, him on Flash wasn't too terrible either because there's that sense of motion.
Yeah, it's when you have, these characters where they're just kind of flying.
Yeah,
It just doesn't translate for
Well,
him. He needs the actual
they
the
feel
body.
they feel very posed in this one. I feel like
Yeah, there's a
it's very
page
blocky.
where Superman's doing the For Tomorrow cover where he's one
Yeah.
foot up in the
Yeah.
ledge and he's got his hands in the hips.
Yep.
He's doing that pose at one point.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. So this issue, they're in the 25th century, and the Eradicator bots there. He's taken after them.
Yep.
And basically, this is a kind of Superman learns the history of Booster, his family life. We learn about Booster's father, about his mother. His father abused his mother, wanted him to throw games when he's a big football star, so that he'd rake money from the gambling and all that stuff. So we learn all about this, and that stuff's it's okay. It's interesting enough. I like Skeet kind of defending Booster and being like, "Hey, Superman, don't judge him too much because here's why," and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I like that side of it. Superman side of it was mostly kind of murky for me in this issue. It was kind of weird how. If at first he was really angry, almost that he'd been ripped away from this Krypton with this other
Yep.
life, and it's like, well, why are you so angry? Like it's like you're forgetting
Yeah.
Lois and John exist. Like what's going on?
Well, I don't like that it takes Skeets to remind Superman of that. Like, he has to remind him of the Kents. He's like, yeah, you lost your birth family when the planet exploded, but you got lucky and were raised by the Kents. Like, that means something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why does it take a security droid from the 25th century to explain this to you, man?
And
Yeah.
like there's times when Superman feels in character when he's like saying, "Oh, I don't want to steal the replacement parts that we need." That's kind of Superman. He gets talked into it, of course,
Yeah.
which is amusing. But there's other points though when Booster's with his dad and his dad's going to turn his back on him and lock him in the cell so he can escape, and Superman's standing behind him, and there's that moment where he's just got his finger ready to ping him. And he pings him and he goes, "Oh." Now that itself I don't have a problem with. That's a funny little Superman beating the bad guy moment. But he looks so angry. This is the art more than anything else. But he looks so angry as he's doing it that it just feels.
That's it. I can't believe that anger was the direction in the script.
Yep.
Like,
Well, even when he has the heat vision eyes, which is one of my favorite Superman tropes, he feels unnecessarily angry about having to steal the.
Do you know what it is? It's that the heat vision is blasting outwards in a way that we haven't seen in a while. It's generally been pretty focused recently.
Yeah.
But here it's a widespread beam. So and it just kind of glows and goes all the way. And the whole panels turn red while this is happening.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's like, okay, this is pretty extreme.
Yeah, I did like the Booster dad stuff though, because even as a Booster fan, I like how Jurgens got in depth with that. Like, we always kind of knew his dad wasn't on the up and up, but seeing how much of a POS he is here, it was, the fact that Booster becomes the greatest hero you've never heard of is really its own thing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
So
it was touching to see his mum be reunited with him and get to know that he's actually not a bad guy and he's doing something important with his life and whatnot. So there was elements of it I liked. I just think overall it was kind of a murky issue because Superman's characterization felt like it was up and down.
Off.
Yeah. Do you know something as well? I genuinely think Booth affected the script level because this feels much more dialogue box heavy than it has been recently.
Yeah.
And obviously Jurgens has been doing it all himself for the last little while, and he's not overwriting. He's trusting himself. It feels like, okay, he didn't trust the artist to carry
But
this.
the funny thing is, though, is the narration boxes, which are all Booster in this issue, or for at least mostly anyway. He those are probably the best parts of the issue. Is his inner thoughts, like talking about his own struggles. That and Skeet defending him. Those are the two things I quite like in this issue. The art not so much, and Superman's characterization not so much. And then we end with a pretty similar cliffhanger to the last time, where they go in the time stream pod and they end up somewhere else.
Oh. This is a straight up Burton Planet of the Apes ending.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Complete with statue.
So they end up in a planet. I don't know if Superman, if Matt has has knowledge of this planet and where this two-sunned planet might be, but I'll let him jump in a second. So they go to a planet that has two suns. Like, okay, so we've got two yellow suns, so you'll be even extra Superman. you're taking in two suns of radiation. But of course, they were in a world, a planet with cities and stuff, but there's a giant statue of Zod. This is a place where Zod is the Emperor, and he is in charge. And that is the cliffhanger into the next issue.
I thought it was interesting that next to the Zod statue, is a fortress-like structure, but in the background is very, human-style architecture.
It almost feels that this is a planet that Zod was kind of, had Superman-level powers and then took it over and became the Emperor.
Yeah, he's conquered it,
Yeah, but the two suns make me think it's not Earth.
Agreed.
Oh, it's definitely not Earth.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Earth, Because they said wherever we are, whenever we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to start introducing the parallel, multiverse, because thanks to Morrison, we have a very clear and concise idea of what the multiverse is. But then he stated within those, there's infinite numbers of parallel alternate that you can tell within that framework. So I feel this is kicking open that door.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the Krypton that they managed to get off in the arcs and found a new place. And now we're going to get one where Zod's supreme ruler. And,
I almost like to think that there's 52, sort of neighbouring universes, but then, there's infinite number of sets of 52 beyond that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the thing is the 52 all have very distinct differences, whereas the parallel ones are more alternate timelines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the way this ended. And for the most part, I like the story in this issue, but stuff just feels off right now.
It's clunky, yeah.
It's clunky. I don't hate it. I didn't hate reading it. It was the art would have obviously made it better if the art was good, but it's kind of fine just now.
Yeah. We have the 2 pages of Lois as well.
Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget? Lois is on a mission to save her dad, who's going to be gunned down in the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about her honestly sneaking onto a plane to go and save him. I do like John sneaking off after her though. I like that part of it.
I like that he uses the same trick he used to go hang out with the Teen Titans of the fake body in the bed to the whites. Which I want an issue that's just Perry taking care of him, of John. And just being completely clueless to his adventures throughout the day and thinking he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I have a question.
Oh, go on.
I didn't think Lois knew Clark had gone through time. I thought that was... am I misremembering this? I thought it was a spur-of-the-moment thing that he just did.
Yeah, but he's been gone a little bit of a while. I'm sure the Flash filled her in.
Well, no, I can't remember the issue. I'd have to go look to be sure. But
no, I was under the impression that she didn't know exactly.
I think he explained that he'd have to do something drastic, but we never saw exactly say what it was. But it maybe implied it before he actually left.
Yeah, maybe it's just the way she says, "Oh yeah, I'm not exactly breaking the time barrier," but I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess she is aware of what's going on." Then for some reason, I didn't think she was.
I'd have to. It's such a minor point that I never bothered remembering. If that makes sense.
No, that's probably what's happened to me as well. Maybe it did tell us and I've just forgotten. But it just when I got to that narration box that said that, I kind of went, "Huh, okay."
Yeah. It's a yeah.